I thought it was about time I got to grips with a few interiors on cameras. While I generally favour featuring exterior car cleaning, now deep interior jobbies can be just as satisfying. So vacuum and stain removal junkies, stay tuned to see me put some of the latest cordless and portable offerings from VAX to the test. So I'd never seriously considered using smaller cordless machines for car cleaning. That is until VAX, a brand whose distinctive robust orange appliances we've had in the family for decades, kindly reached out to see if I'd be interested in getting to grips with their Blade 4 Pet and Car cordless vac and new Spot Wash Duo machines, the latter of which can now be had for £30 off with the discount code JOE30 via the link below. So took that generous invitation as a sign from the car cleaning gods to get out there and grab some long overdue interior cleaning content. Now, while these machines are great for use in and around the home, VAX has designed them to be just as effective elsewhere, so I thought I'd put them to the test on a few realistically dirty car interiors, as I'm always looking for compact cleaning equipment to add to the arsenal, and suspected these might be just the ticket. So to start with, I'd lined up the unkept interior of my mate's little Mazda 2, which, while not being deeply ingrained with dirt, was still in need of a thorough vacuum and partial seat clean. So after ensuring the VAX 1-power lithium-ion batteries had been fully charged to give the maximum 90-minute combined runtime, fired up the new cordless contraption and set about ridding the Mazda of the loose bits of dirt, mostly with the included round, crevice and soft brush tools, which despite only being small were actually really effective. But I also made use of the extendable flexi crevice tool and lightweight hose that comes with the Cordless Pro kit too. Most areas were vacuumed over with the Blade 4 machine in normal mode, which is the most economical in terms of battery power, but the handy boost feature, which provides a noticeable increase in suction, was periodically taken advantage of for any dirt that needed a bit more persuasion. The cheap plasticky mats, which usually take a fair few minutes to vacuum with just a traditional crevice tool, were then given a good going over with the included mini motorised pet tool in conjunction with the powered hose to give a bit more freedom of movement as opposed to fixing it directly to the body of the machine, which can easily be done if you prefer. But this did a surprisingly good job at quickly dislodging and eliminating the debris, as well as simultaneously reviving the inexpensive fibres thanks to the spinning antimicrobial brush bar and vacuum working in unison. So while I did exhaust both 4-amp-hour batteries over the course of the dry clean, was fully expecting to have to put all the juice to use, as I tend to take my sweet time when vacuuming. But either way, it brought about the same standard of finish I've achieved on this car before with larger mains operated machines, just without the additional hassle of having to trail cables or worry about an upright appliance rolling about outside. It was then time to get to grips with the Spot Wash Duo, as I doubt the 9-year-old seats had ever been properly cleaned, so wanted to see what, if anything, this new machine could extract from them. After filling the Duo's solution tank with a mixture of warm water and VAX's own pleasant smelling spot cleaning stuff, then the Duo was used to quickly spray down the area to be cleaned, and while I know pre-wetting seats like this can make people wince a bit, it does give the product a good chance to do its job before being extracted, especially if it's then agitated over, whereas jumping straight into a simultaneous spray and extraction on bone dry fabric might not always be enough, but specific technique wasn't really the point here, as my main aim was simply to illustrate the spray and extraction capabilities of the machine, which for the most part I think I did quite well. So after extracting the initial pre-spray with one of the 2 included tools, which means you can reserve one for the home and one for the car to prevent cross-contamination, I went on to do a bit of simultaneous spraying and extracting as well, before laying off the trigger and just using the suction of the machine to pull as much remaining residue from the fabric and foam below as possible, as hopping out your freshly cleaned whip with a damp backside is never a good look. And of course it should go without saying, but if you're going to commit to wet vacuuming an interior like this, then it makes sense to have a towel or two to hand to mop up any overspray from surrounding hard surfaces. Following its cordless vac and spot wash then, the little Mazda looked a lot fresher, as both machines had served to pull a decent amount of dirt off and out of its various surfaces, despite them not looking too bad to begin with. So called it a day there and prepared to move on to the slightly larger and somewhat dirtier interior of my sister's Mazda 3 to see how they both fare there. So the interior of this Mazda was a bit dirtier than the previous one thanks to the nephew's backseat shenanigans, and again was in need of a good vac and a spot clean to rid it of loose sand and a few greasy stains. So got to work crevice tooling and soft dusting brushing once more to try and show what a handy machine this cordless blade 4 can potentially be, whether for a quick vac of a specific area or for the entire car if the batteries are adequately managed. Now, because I didn't with the previous Mazda, I put the powered mini tool to use on the boot here, working it back and forth over the cheap carpeting, which did a great job and was far quicker than sorting it with a solitary crevice tool, before giving the floor mats a similar going over with it, which with a little perseverance, which is always needed with older, cheaper or more neglected mats, came up pretty damn well thanks to the tool's combination of spinning bristles and cordless suction. The base of the two front seats were then wet vacked with the Spot Wash Duo in a similar fashion to how I tended to the ones in the previous car. However, I decided to quickly unclip the little stiff bristle brush attachment here to agitate the greasy fabric over by hand, which, as you can see, worked a treat. They were then thoroughly extracted every which way to remove the cleaning solution and broken down dirt, which I've got to say isn't the most straightforward thing to properly capture on camera without getting yourself in the way. So just did what I could here to try and give you a decent idea of what this new compact little wet vac is capable of. So although I didn't fully clean this one from top to bottom, as I still had a few teaser clips to film with my own car, the bits I did focus on, specifically the floor mats, boot and two front seats, came up great and gave a suitable contrast between the surrounding uncleaned areas, illustrating what can potentially be achieved with both machines. So before finishing up the video with the boot liner and floor mats of my secret new ride, and for a quick change of pace, thought it was only fair I at least tried the cordless vac in and around the house as well. So captured a few different shots with the Blade 4's various tools to give you an idea of how it could effectively be put to use by detail-oriented folk whose car cleaning techniques carry over into the home and vice versa. And as you can see, it was perfectly capable, even serving to safely keep the plastic supercar collection dust free. So prior to rounding things up, I wanted to give a bit of a teaser of my new car, which I'll hopefully be properly featuring next time, with a few cryptic cleaning shots. So after giving the rear liner a quick going over with the soft brush tool to remove any loose bits from the dog's last compact boot expedition, turned to the mats for some closing deep cleaning action, thoroughly vacuuming them over with the mini motorised pet tool first to remove any loose dirt and open up the 10-year-old fibres. And I've got to say, I really can't see myself tending to floor mats with just a crevice tool anymore, as this does such a good job in such a short amount of time that it'd almost be worth owning for manky mats alone. Once treated to a thorough motorised vacuum then, the mats were sprayed down with the Spot Wash Duo, paying particular attention to any noticeably dirty or discoloured areas, before being thoroughly worked over with the stiff bristles of the incorporated brush. They were then methodically resprayed and extracted until all areas were sufficiently clean and solution free, and with lighter coloured mats like this, some of what appears to be dirt and discoloration will in fact be permanent wear, so you just need to remain conscious of that when cleaning older mats and learn to discern when enough is enough so as not to inflict unnecessary wear. So as before then, the new Spot Wash Duo really stepped up and pulled plenty of dirt and grime from the mats, leaving them looking a whole lot better and well worthy of gracing the footwells of the new Gurumobile. And before finishing, I thought it was worth quickly showing you the self-cleaning properties this new machine comes equipped with, as it's not something I've seen before. So once you're done extracting, you empty and refill the clean tank with an inch or so of fresh warm water. Detach the extraction head, insert the end of the hose into the port on the rear of the machine and turn it on to pull that fresh water through the lengthy 1.5 metre hose, which will clean it out and help prevent it from gunking up in between use. So while the cars featured here might not have been disaster detail level dirty, they were still realistically sold enough to give you a good idea of how the featured machines and their accompanying tools perform, which was the main aim of the game, and the fact both managed to suck and extract ample amounts of grime where there may not have initially appeared to have been much meant, in my mind at least, they definitely proved their worth. And of course, now that I have them to hand, we'll almost certainly be putting them to use again, both on camera and off. If you like the look of the snazzy new Spot Wash Duo, then the good news is that you can get a whopping £30 off the cost of one right now by clicking the link below and using the discount code JOE30. But don't hang about, as this generous offer, which I'm made up to be bringing you in collaboration with VAX, expires on the 28th of June. Also, while you're there, do check out what other tools VAX has for tending to your home and car, as their robust, no-nonsense offering certainly pleasantly surprised me. So hopefully you enjoyed this interior change of pace, as I certainly enjoyed the freedom of being cordless and portable for a change. But either way, thanks for watching, thanks to VAX for getting involved, and I'll see you with a video of my new car outlining exactly what I've been doing to get it ready for your critique over the past month or so next time.